panel and to say that there are two people that I'm going to bring up here that have really become, in a lot of ways, the heart and soul of this show and this series. They've become the celebrators, the archivists, the people that have dug in, pulled apart, turned upside down, analyzed, and mostly given a big, warm hug to this show on a weekly basis, doing their podcast. And it's only right that I bring out the one person who is capable of doing the same thing to them, and that would be Steve Franks, who is going to moderate and give that rip apart of these two wonderful, unbelievable, heart and soul people of the show, Timothy Amundsen, Timothy Moses Boom Boom, Shaboom Boom, Galoom Boom Amundsen, his counterpart, his partner in crime and in friendship, Maggie Rose Lawson!
I don't have, oh, here we go. Guys, when the schedule came out for which podcast would be what, or which panel would be what, I said I have to do the podcast one. I requested this. We moved all the schedules around because I love doing their show more than anything. It is so fun. They're so great.
We always love having you. I mean, it's
Maggie, I
great.
think we need to start paying our guests now.
You what?
I think we need to start paying our guests now.
Yeah. We do.
Well, Steve, the reason we have you on so much is because you are always gold every time you're on the show.
I mean, the best. But also the reason we have a podcast is because of the show that this man created. So.
It is really fun, and I'm gonna give you a little behind the scenes of how this works, because what happens is they call and ask you to do it. We all figure out a time, and then the best part of it is we all get on the Zoom, and there's about 25 minutes where one of our microphones is not working. So two of us are talking. It could be any two, by the way. It's never consistent.
It's a running joke now that, like, if everything goes smooth at the top of the podcast, there's a problem. Because we know if it's messed up for 20 minutes, we know it's going to be a great pod. Because it happens all the time. But yes, it's true. We have 20 minutes of we just get to hang out and go, can you hear me? Are you hearing me? Can you hear? Tim, I'll call you. Tim, calling you. Okay.
And eventually we'll just start texting each other.
And then eventually, yes.
Hey, speaking of technical difficulties, dear sound people in the back, can I have a little more of Maggie's voice, microphone in my ears, please?
Oh, you want to hear more of my voice?
I could take even a little bit more if that's okay.
Oh, even more? Hello? Hello? I don't have much of a... It actually just might
Boom,
be me
you
today.
just did it. Whatever happened just was perfect.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody.
All right.
Hi.
It's just like we're on the podcast right now.
Look
Except
at
we're not having a
I know, isn't this amazing? Look at these people going crazy
like,
for you.
It's crazy. It's like, it's incredible. I know.
Oh, this is their first panel of the weekend?
Yes, so we haven't been out, we haven't seen this room yet, we haven't seen it set up yet. It's incredible. Like, a really, really, really well done to Journey, and yeah.
Here.
So we have a lot of questions for people. I want to intersperse some behind the scenes on the psychologists who ran the Psych Rewatch podcast, and the fun of doing it. If you guys ever get invited to be guests on the show, you should absolutely do it, because it's a ton of fun. And you should not do what I do, and that's rewatch the episode and come in with 4 pages of notes, single spaced. Because what you'll find that happens is you're about 2/3 of the way through your notes, and you can start to see Maggie's eyes because she's got something else booked for after that.
Most likely one of her other podcasts, because she's now the podcast queen of Los Angeles and all entertainment. And rightfully so. Have you all heard Me Time? Come on, son. Man, you know that's quality podcasting time right there.
But it's so easy and so great to be on the show, and it's so much fun. And even though they tell me Maggie has a hard out at 5, at about 5:17, I see that it's time for me to wrap it up. And then what they say after that is they go, I guess we could split it into 2 episodes.
I do that a lot because.
No, let's be honest. We know we're going to split up your episodes into 2 before we even start.
We also get like the most fan question. Also, it's just the notes are they're gold. Like it's all so gold. Like why would we stop anything? Why would we not break? We should break it up into like 4 episodes or an entire season.
It's almost like you created the show and know things.
Well, it's not because not being as cool as an actor or anything, I feel like I have to deliver tidbits and behind the scenes thing. And you guys, the great thing that happens here, and I'm going to turn this over to you guys, is like how often does Tim tell a story, or Tim, how often does Maggie tell a story that you go, I have no recollection of that happening?
Oh yeah, we've had a few of those.
After this many years, quite.
Where one of us remembers something crystal clear and the other one's like, that happened? Yes.
And then that'll often be then a quick email to our producer saying, please cut that part out.
Or we completely, yes, that's true. But no, I think for the most part, just because, I mean, this goes back to how special Psych is to all of us. I actually think as we watch the episodes, it's actually crazy how much we do remember, like very specific details we remember about the day, the weather, what was happening with our dogs at the time, what was like going on in your kids' lives. Like it was the kind of experience that I really do feel like, because it was so special and because there was so much love, we were very present in it. So it's not something that just like passed by and it was like, wow, that just went by in a blip, that happened. It was like, no, we lived and felt and explored. And I mean, we were a family in Vancouver for 8 years together, and we knew from, I think, the very beginning or very early on, how lucky and special this was, whatever this was, that we knew then, like, this is not that you don't rush this. Like, so we lived so much of it, like we were so present for it. So when we look back, I feel like the memories actually, yeah, I've held a mic before. Sorry, the memories, they're pretty vivid and like, you know, like you can like touch them. They're like, it's a lot probably, I think, for you all watching the episodes and how a lot of you, I mean, so many of you had such beautiful stories of your families watching it together, but also how many of you have met. I think there was a proposal that Psych had a quote that was a part of the quote or the vows or something. Like the audience felt that, whatever that thing that we felt. So it's, sorry, this is a very long-winded answer to your question about like, did we have a lot of memories that the other one doesn't remember? And we've had a couple, but I think for the most part, Tim, we'll be like, oh, remember that day? And it's like, oh yeah, this episode took me right back to something.
Yeah, and that's the amazing thing about the Rewatch podcast is because it's been so long since we saw some of these episodes, most of these episodes, that for us, like, we too are getting to really enjoy it like you guys do.
Yeah, that too. Almost like, and I think one of the fun things about rewatching it is that, you know, when you're filming it, you're not always there on the days that other scenes are being filmed. So, you know, until you've watched the episode, you kind of don't know all of the like nuggets of gold that are in these episodes. And even watching it through the first time, there were episodes that I had never like seen in their entirety. And then to like watch every time I watch an episode, which I know you all experience as well, you find new things, whether it's a look. We just had this with Lassie's birthday. We just talked about this when I invite all the people in your,
bandana.
And the guy who was standing next to me in the bandana being like, yep, we are gonna show up at your house. Yep, we are. And I like had never seen him before. And I was like, this is the funniest part of the scene. You know what I'm talking about? You know the guy in the bandana who's standing next to me, and I'm just like, what do you mean?
You say, why?
I was like, rewound it like 3 times. What?
You say, where are you going? I say, I'm going to go pack now. She's like, why are you packing? Because now they know where I live, and there's one who just goes, like he's straight out of, straight out of Stand and Deliver, this guy.
Yeah.
He's got the big cholo bandana, it's just like.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, the thing that I love so much when you were touching this is because we're getting to rewatch it. It's like it pulls up these memories for us that. I mean, we say this all the time. Like, there's sometimes you have anything in life, especially jobs. Like, you realize you look back and go, I always say, like, these are the good old days. Like, right now, these are the good old days. Like, that show, we knew why we were doing it. We were smart enough to go, everyone in this show and this cast and crew was like, this is the greatest experience of our lives. And we knew it at the time and we embraced it. We didn't. So it's not like we look back 20 years later and go, man, I wish we enjoyed it more at the time. Because like we knew what it was when we were doing it.
Yep, it feels well lived. We really lived it. We lived all of it, yeah.
And that's why I was saying recording week is the greatest. The days we record, I would say, is like the greatest day of my week because we get to go, I get to talk with my bestie, and then the fact that we get to relive this incredible time in our life.
It's been really cool. Like, it really has. It's like really going back and walking through it all again.
To go back to when the idea of the podcast is hatched, did you have any idea what would come, the emotions that you would stir up, the after effects, and then this level of success? Because it's been amazingly successful for you guys.
Yeah, this was a wild, like, I mean...
If I hadn't had any idea, I wouldn't have said no in the first place.
You did. Well, it was really funny. Yeah, the idea, you know, we talked about it, and Steve was so kind, James Dulé, because this was like during the pandemic, and I thought about, like, this is the thing that brings people so much joy, and we were all, I don't know, we were about to do, that's right, we were about to do This Is Gus, yeah. And I called you, I thought about it, and I was like, well, the people who, you know, if someone wants to do a podcast, it's gonna be Steve, James, Dulé, like it's before. So I asked Steve, and he was like, yeah, if you wanna give it a go, like do it. And then I called James and I called Dulé and said the same thing, and then I called you. At first, which I get, because I probably couldn't explain it very well. I'd never done a podcast, but I had, you know, I was definitely curious and had a hosting experience. I was like, yeah, let's get back to this. So I probably explained
so vividly. I was sitting in the diner room. You called, and you never call me. You always text. So it was weird. I get a phone call from Maggie. And you said, do you want to do a Psych podcast? And I was like, what's a Psych podcast? I was not really even a big podcast guy at all. I didn't know now I do, but so I didn't know what a Psych podcast was. And you just, and it was like three years after the thing that happened, it was in all the papers.
What?
I just dropped Maggie.
Oh, no idea.
So it was all super fresh, and I was just terrified of all the technology. I didn't know what I was doing. But you were very reassuring. You're like, I'm going to make this, so you just have to push a button and say, okay.
Yeah.
And sure enough, you did. As always, you took care of me.
At first, though, I'm sure I did not explain it very well, because I didn't know what I was doing either. I was just like, let's do this. I don't know yet how it's all gonna work, but I know it's gonna work. We're gonna give it a good shot. So. In
my defense, no, you didn't explain it at all. But as I've said now, and I've always said afterwards, like, I've learned whenever Maggie Lawson says, hey, do you wanna? I say yes.
Well, and then thank you, psychos, because, you know, I mean, I was like, well, I remember the Cloud 10, the podcast company, was like, I think we'll announce it on this day and probably, you know, start releasing the episodes like a few days, maybe a week later. And I was like, are you sure? They're like, yeah, let's give like the psycho, let's give it a moment to like, I'm like, okay, I hoped 1 subscriber, 2 subscribers, I don't know. You all. I don't know if you remember, but I was doing like ADR for I think for this guys, and I remember I was like in this photo or in this recording booth, and someone sent me a text and said like the psychologists are in is like #1 in downloads or subscribers today, and I was like, no, wait, what? Like, what does that even mean? I didn't even know what that meant, but I was like, subscribers, we haven't even done a podcast. It's like, no, just people signing up, and we held #1 for like a day, which in podcast land is like a movie holding #1 for like a few weeks. It was like crazy. You all, thank you. Like it was bonkers. It was bonkers. It was so cool.
It's well, and what I don't think people understand is also that it was snowballing a lot of stuff. Like, Tim, I know you were still pretty recently removed from in your recovery from that thing that was in the papers. How do you?
What happened?
I'll tell you about it later. It was.
This sounds ominous.
It was pretty traumatic, but it ends on a really happy note. So.
Oh crap! I remember now. Holy shit! I had a stroke.
Now. Going out and, I mean, you want to talk about, I mean, this guy, obviously the recovery thing has been amazing. He was just so brave and extraordinary. But you're in the middle of recovering and you say, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go be on a podcast where it's just my voice. And week to week, your recovery seems to me, and this is just from me listening because I'm an avid listener, it feels like it accelerated your recovery in sort of an extraordinary way. Do you feel, am I just making that up?
1,000%. And I've said this before, and I will say it till the cows come home. If that's still even do the kids still say when the cows come home? But this podcast has played such a massive part in accelerating my recovery. Speaking wise, I mean, just to sit down for an hour and speak extemporaneously for, hey, there's a big 50-cent word, for 45 minutes, and let alone memory things. It's some things I remember, like we discussed, are crystal clear, and others are not so crystal clear. But to be able to sit there and speak and form words and sentences and thoughts has been, it was terrifying, but because I knew that you were on the other side of the microphone and you were always going to catch me if I fell, I cannot emphasize how much this podcast has helped me.
I think it's all you, Tim, but that's nice to say. But honestly, you're. I mean, as I've said before, it's like he's a warrior. You are a warrior. Like it's.
Well, warriors all need support teams, and you are one of my biggest support people out there.
We can keep doing this.
We should have warned you this was going to be the emotional one for the weekend.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to fan questions, and we'll get to some of the stuff. Because we could do this, I mean, till the cows come home. And
the kids still do say, "Yay!" Okay,
wait, are you gonna do the song?
Are you gonna join me in it?
I'll at the end. Maybe.
No. I've only had, like I said on the podcast, I haven't gone back to voice class, but I've only had 4 lessons, so it's not quite kicking in. But.
Wait, though, we just have to call this out for 1 second. Because let's cheer Tim on. Wait, hold on though, I'm gonna tell you why. You going back to the voice lessons is one of the bravest, I know this is one of the hardest steps you've had to take in this entire recovery, on just like a mental fear, like, you know what we're talking about when it's like an emotional thing, and you walked back in, your voice teacher was like, yeah, like you're a singer, and you are already on your way, and he's continuing the classes. So I wanted to say that before we just dismiss the fact that he's like, oh, I just went back to voice classes, and I'm like, this is one of the biggest milestones, I think, of the recovery.
Now I gotta sing?
No pressure.
No pressure at all. But just to, the reason I went back to voice class, and then need to go back to, roll back for a second for singing. Psych the musical is what made me go, you're brilliant, Psych musical, by the way, Steve Franks. That's the moment in my life where I went, oh my God, I forgot how much I miss singing. And that year, my New Year's resolution was to make music a bigger part of my life. So thank you, Steve Franks. And then after the show, and it unfortunately ended, then it led into Galavan, which was, that was just a shameless plug. And so as our little show, Psych, was winding down and we were trying to figure out what the hell is next in our lives, I've told this story all the time, you all know we get a little woo now that this one's made me the woo shaman person.
Little woo-woo. We like the woo-woo.
And so Mags and I talked a lot about sort of what's next for our individual lives. And she goes, I've told this story, the story of the book. You know the story I'm talking about?
I think
so
they know
she's
the book.
like, there's a book you need to read. And it's called The Magic of Believing. And I was like, are you insane? Like, did your shaman give you this book? What the hell? So, of course, I, as I've learned now, always do what Maggie says. And went and found the book, and it was this roadmap of manifestation, which, you know, she and I have now talked a lot about the manifestation world. And so when I got time in my recovery, like, okay, what's the next phase? I got more mobile. Now I really want to get that thing back in my life that I missed so much, which was singing. So that was Babe Ruth called my shot, which is I'm going back in this class and getting my voice back. Mostly so you and I can sing on stage one day again. And I would make a song.
Magic of believing. And we will. Well, we're on stage right now. We're not going to sing, but he's got it.
Fan questions. It's time for questions. You've got queries. We've got answers. Some of them might be lies. We still need to workshop it more, but it's getting there.
I don't have much of a voice today, but we got there. It was great. All right.
All right, the fan questions from Sabrina in Georgia. What was the hardest episode for you to film, and why?
Well, I got two in my head, but I would say for two reasons, Mr. Yin for me. Mr. Yin Presents, because of how emotional it was for our characters, and also because I was dangling off a clock tower. And probably Odyssey for the
Odyssey, the goodbye scene in Odyssey was brutally hard.
Yeah.
But so
Not as hard as dangling off a clock tower, but it was pretty hard. Yeah.
sorry, not as hard as what?
Dangling off a clock tower. I was making a bad joke.
Okay.
If you do visit Vancouver, you will see the clock tower. You have to look straight up. It is one of the highest points in the entire city, and you can't cheat that, so you actually have to go up there and dangle on a chair from the top of it.
Oh, sorry, like most actors, was thinking about myself, and I was just going from the point of view of, yes, I guess clock tower was pretty difficult, even though I just had to roll running up some stairs. I wasn't going to dangle off, but emotionally, it was by far, for me personally, the hardest thing to do was Odyssey and Nargalaise.
Yeah.
But because of the support system we had with Kirsten and James and our incredible crew, they got us through. Much like Clock Tower, I mean, James was there for us as director and writer, like the dear friend that he is.
Which leads actually perfectly into our next one, who's in P4 Detective Stage Right. Okay. It's basically, what are some of your favorite improvised moments from the show?
Oh my gosh. There are so many.
Can I add one?
I think these for all of us. Like, yeah.
Well, no, I just want to add it's one of Tim's, and the Detective Dobson has never appeared in any of those stories. It was a Tim ad.
Really? I do not. I
See, here's the.
I swore Dobson was a James Roday line.
I thought,
It was written.
You're the first person to say it.
Yes, you were the first person. Well, and not only that, but I thought you kept adding it because I was. I'm back in California in the editing room, and I'm looking at the cut, and I'm going, "Who's Dobson?" That's the kind of show we have. Like, who's Dobson? Leave it in, by God, leave it in, because it may take 4.5 years, but let's see where he's going with this.
Oh my God, what a payoff, God right.
That is
And it did.
I think every Dobson was scripted. Because I just remember, most of them I think were scripted by James, because I remember being so tickled with my Dobson, my first Dobson. Just the knowing nod.
I can't think. I remember you all might know the episode it's from. I don't think I can remember the specific episode, but it's early season 1, where I'm talking to Sean and my hands are out, and he just slaps my hand. What's the episode? Do you know? Clouded with a Chance of Murder. Okay, yes. So it's to this day, because we just saw it. We just rewatched that one again. It was one of my favorite improvs on the show ever, because that was definitely not scripted. And my reaction is genuine, because I was so caught off guard. I kind of laugh, half charmed, mostly charmed as I was, and they left it in. They left in my reaction to it. Yeah, they left in the whole thing that was not scripted. So I know that's one that stands out to me. There's so many. There were so many.
Was Gesundheit?
The sneeze was something that was an improv.
Bless you. Was it Gesundheit or bless you?
Bless you, yeah. I don't know if it's my favorite, but it was definitely that was a funny one.
That was a hard one because you kept coming in, and then I kept saying in the editing room, when Henry would say this, he'd go, "Are we playing it like Juliet's sick? Is she okay? Is she gonna be all right?"
I remember James being like, just like sneeze randomly in the scene, and I was like, what? It was season 1 too. It's Forget Me Not. He's what you know what it is. We're in the greenhouse, right? And I remember him saying, I was like, okay. And again, they left it in. So then we kept this little runner up that was like a cute thing that sort of tied the two of us together a little bit, that nobody else says bless you, but Sean hears it and makes sure he says bless you. It was really, that one lasted a little while, but yeah. Dobson lasted till the end, the very end.
And Tim, where did that lead us to? With the Dobson? Lead us to the greatest moment in filming the entire show.
The late great Val mother freaking. It's unbelievable, the journey of that guy.
So the answer is, and I say this on your podcast, when you guys have your own television show, leave something in, because you might get to meet Val Kilmer or one of your childhood heroes. You just never know where something might lead. And that's the question that Alyssa in Psychic B28 also said. They said the podcast has become such a special extension of the Psych family, not just because of the episode discussions and the Comic-Cons, but because of the friendship between the two of you. The reason I'm up here too, because your friendship and support is something so special in this world, and very much echoes the Sean and Gus of it all, the way you guys care for each other in such a way. So is there a moment that you realized that the podcast was giving fans something different than just the behind the scenes stories?
Oh, I don't know if there was a moment that we realized there was something else we were sort of sharing. Like, of course we shared the love of our friendship, but I don't know that we were like knowing that that's what you all were sort of picking up and feeling as well. It was more like, well, let's talk about our show that we love, but so much of what we love about the show was also our friendship, the friendship of everybody, honestly, and everybody that comes on. So I don't know. Maybe for us, there was a moment that, oh, is that what the question is? Is it between like Tim and I versus you all? Got it now. Meaning like, I don't think we had a moment where it was like, oh, we're also giving the psychos a glimpse into our friendship. I think it was over time we've sort of realized how, maybe in real time, so I don't know if it's a moment, but it could just be consistently happening as we're doing the podcast in real time of like, wow, we have been friends for so long, and then we've also been a part of this family 20 years for so long. So there are these moments that like we do kind of catch ourselves in real time of like, my God, like who gets to, like it's such a rare thing. So I would say it happens all the time, rather than just one moment.
Yeah, I can't think of a moment where like, oh, they're also really getting to tap into the Taggy Maggie friendship.
Taggy Maggie.
The Taggy Last Yet friendship. But I think maybe we got an inkling of it. At least I did anyway. Oh, and this is fitting. When I landed in San Francisco, I think it was yesterday I came in. I landed, I was like, oh, this is where it all began for the first live show.
That's actually a really good point, right? I had the same thought as I was driving in. I was like, oh gosh, remember?
See, we're so simpatico.
We are, but like Sketchfest. And when we were like, I don't know what this is gonna be, but we had such, if we can talk about a moment, you lit up that stage in a way like I don't think you had been on stage in a while. I don't know that you had had that experience yet. I remember Allison talking about it. Other people were saying like, put you on stage and let's get us like, because you belong here. Like it was like such a moment, I know, for all of us, and I think probably for the psychos too, who had kind of known Tim's journey and watching that. It was such I call them moments of impact. It was such a moment of impact where things kind of just like started to change a little bit in a, yeah.
It was a psychonic, pivotal moment in my life, in my journey, because in going on stage, I know I had not been on stage at all before. I mean, I was barely speaking, I think, at the time. I mean, I was speaking, but not with any sort of confidence. And having grown up doing theater, it was terrifying to go back out. But I remember being just off stage before you and I went out. And we just had a quick hug and I said, let's just go out and be us. But as terrified as I was, which I was freaking terrified, I knew that I had my dear friend Maggie next to me who was going to fall. If I fell, she was going to catch me, and you did, absolutely. And that was the impetus for saying, I got to get back on it. That night was like, I got to get back on a stage. And this is why I need to be in front of people, making them laugh and telling stories, which was the impetus for this one-man show that I've been working on for 4 years with James and Ethan Sandler.
Good moment. It all began here in San Francisco.
Yeah, it all began. So now I got to get that show on its feet so I can bring it back to San Francisco proper.
Yes. Are we manifesting this right now?
We are manifesting.
Are we? Are we gonna magic believe this into happening?
You're going to San Francisco.
There it is.
Manifest a one-man show for yourself. Which, by the way, I'm singing a one-man show too.
We are speaking it into reality right now. It's gonna happen. And we're all witness. So I can't wait to see you all at the show.
Boom. So we've said it, so it shall be.
So it shall be. So it is.
Oh my gosh.
Steve's like, wow, they really are into this woo-woo.
No, I'm learning about the magic of believing.
Yes, yeah.
There was a question. Oh, it just rolled to the next question, but there was a great question before. It's like, did you like how Jules got married? She always talked about having a dream wedding, and she had a bunch of family Christmas episode. Maggie, I don't think we've ever discussed how you felt about the wedding.
Okay, a few things. One, did Juliet say she'd always dreamed of a big wedding? I don't remember that. No, because I don't think Juliet really thought about that probably that much, knowing Juliet. Even though she's down, she was like, I just don't think it was the thing that she was like heavily focused on, which, you know, and I think most psychos who, would probably agree. So I would say, other than this person not being there.
You took my answer. But
Yes.
Go ahead. Please continue.
So my answer would be, no, Tim wasn't there. But the spontaneity of it and how natural it was in the moment, the only thing missing was you. I think the wedding was perfect. So those two things at the same time. It wasn't because he wasn't there, but that is exactly how I think Juliet would have loved for it to go down. It's like, we're doing this right now. It's my people are here. Let's go. Like, yep. Except for
Definitely. I remember watching the episode and having a pang of pain that Lasher is not her best man, her best person.
I gotta be honest. When I rewatched the episode when your Lily's born in the freaking truck, and I'm like,
Sean and Gus truck things up. Yes.
it's one I hadn't seen yet in the rewatch, because I don't know, probably it was too hard for me to watch at the time, but here I was like rewatching it and I'm like, I'm really struggling right now. Like, this happened in, what's the episode? What's the?
Sean and Gus truck things up.
Truck things up, thank you. Yes, anyway, so yeah.
Got my wife and unborn daughter in there. I love that, like, we both have our teachers have these life moments that we are neither one of our characters are actually there for, and it still pangs us to this day. Like, you not being there for Lily's birth, and me not being there for Juliet's, name's Juliet, right? Juliet and Sean's wedding.
Yeah.
But I do say, there's one little bit in the end of, I think it's, which is the, I think it's Dee's Nups, where, which is the Huckleberry episode, the scene where I draw the guy, and I say, I basically am doing Tombstone. It's where I draw the guy, anybody help me?
Oh, C's. That's C's, yeah.
C's okay.
Yeah, that's, we don't have to
It's
do
the evil
that.
neighbor and,
That's C's today.
It's
today,
C's.
yeah.
So there's a moment where they discover, I think Sean discovers that I'm going to be a father, or I say to Juliet, I'm going to be a papa. So at least you're the first person on the show that Lasser tells he's going to be a papa. So you weren't there for the birth, but you were the first character I told.
Sorry, I was singing at Shelby. So yes, I do. Yeah. Yes.
There also, if you can see there in these important life moments, we put the birth of your child in the back of a food truck that's moving. We do a wedding out on a dock with a criminal being let off to prison.
Well, he's got to make a living.
In this economy? Some of my favorites. You know what's funny is do you remember, we can't even say it because we might use this in a future movie. Do you remember?
I'm sorry, what did you just say?
Do you remember what also happened during that wedding? There is another psychotic moment in the original draft. We had to change it because of something that happened that was in the papers, but it's still something we could do, and I just got really excited about it because I forgot that bit.
Why I'm forgetting that bit?
We can't say it because there's people listening.
Well, tell me when we go backstage and I'll leave my mic on.
Wait, do you think you're asking us to remember something that was in an original draft I guess it would have been 9 years ago, right?
Yeah, it would have been 9 years ago. By the way, I came up the script. The last time I was in San Francisco, we came up for a trip to scout locations and came up with the idea of Alcatraz, just looking out on the thing. We couldn't get a tour, and it's like we were gonna do the end scene in some regular warehouse. And then we were walking through along the Embarcadero looking at warehouses, and then all of a sudden I looked to the left and I go, Alcatraz? And then cut to me sending the script up to our line producer going, Alcatraz, are you kidding me? And then, by the way, the magic of believing, even to our Canadian crew, they said, all right, we'll build it. And we built an Alcatraz set that nearly killed our line producer because it was so expensive. But the great thing about it is every other cell was nothing inside. We could afford to build half of it. And they said, well, make it half as short. And I go, well, it looks like a lunchroom, you know? And so he said, okay, we'll make everything else empty. And so it's pretty spectacular.
These are the tidbits we love. I didn't even know that.
Yes, it's part of the inside, and it's what this show is about. It's what this podcast is about. It's what about this friendship is about. It's like you have a situation that's given to you, and you make something magical out of it, and it is the magic of believing. You believe until the cows come home, and
the Highland cows.
The Highland cows.
Specifically.
And suddenly you have the number one podcast in the country because the two of you have an amazing and I mean, talk about support and talk about, our show is about friendship and what is the role of fun and friendship in your life. And we find is it can bring you back to your best life,
It can literally bring you back to life.
Yes.
That's what our friends do. That's what love does. That's how powerful that is. But it all started, the only reason we have it is because you had a no a-hole policy. You chose very carefully who was going to be a part of this family. And look at it. Look at us. Look at our extended family. So, that's truly the root of it, We are honoring the friendship and the show, but it's from you.
We can't end this on me. This is about you guys.
No, I am going to end this. I mean, maybe not end about it. I need to get in one word about you before we pick up.
Yeah.
So when that thing happened that was in all the papers, the fact that you and James and everybody else stuck by me so steadfastly. I'm going to get over it. Sorry. You guys held up in Joey's drinking supernovas to rewrite the script in 3 days, not knowing if I was going to either make it or not, let alone live or speak, just to figure out how to get me this movie so I could get my health insurance and save my family. And there's not a lot of shows that would do that. So Steve Franks, I love you and thank you for that and what you've done for me, Allison, and Lily and Nora, and this whole world getting us out there. And now I'm going to move over to my partner here.
Well, I'll say same thing, Steve Franks. I also love you, and thank you for bringing this family together that brings us back, exactly as you just said, to life and to love and all the things that actually matter. So, yeah, that's you.
Timothy Amundsen.
Love you guys as well. I told you this was going to be the emotional one, guys. Had no idea.
Maggie Lawson, Timothy Amundsen.
Psychologist Array podcast panel.
And show creator Steve Franks.